to talk. We absolutely have to talk about this. Where's the urgency in the Nancy Guthrie case? All right. Let's put this a better way. Let's say that someone came to you and they said, hold your hands out. You put your hands out and they put a baby duck in your hands. A little tiny baby duck in your hands. And you're like, what's wrong with it? It looks so frail. They're like, we don't know if it's going to live or not. It's ailing. Like it hatched and it's just not been doing good. Now here's the ticket. If you can get it 12 hours away to destination A by 2 days, in 48 hours, we'll give you $4 million. Well, what's your first thought? You have 2 days to get it to the location, and you have a baby duck that has to be alive on delivery. Like if it's not alive when you get there, the rule is you don't get paid. What are you gonna do? So there'd be this urgency to get there as soon as possible. But in the Nancy Guthrie case, we have a ransom note, and let's just look at this for a minute, y'all. My notes, right? I got so many notes on this. Where's the urgency? All right, so where is it that they got the first pay date that the first ransom gave was $4 million by the 5th of February. She was taken on the 1st in the early morning. That's 4 days. 4 days to get this baby duck to its location. Where's the urgency? I'm missing the urgency. What? Are you going to stop off and maybe have some chicken nuggets at McDonald's while you look at the baby bird and go, well, maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't. It's $4 million, whoop-de-doo. Or are you going to do your very best to get there? All right? So welcome to 1111 True Crime. I hope you can hear me okay. I had to adjust the chat. Today we're going to dive deep and talk about why that ransom letter is fake. There's some serious reasons in my notes why that letter is fake. And I want to welcome in all my live audience. I appreciate you guys so much. Jennifer Swain, Jennyville, Nikki UK, Carla Burgeon, Debbie Gazzardo, Jennyville's here. Good to see all my beautiful mods. Hi, Smudger. Nobody tell her the surprise. I think y'all already did, though. Spilt Paint Furniture Flipper. Hello. Hello to every single one of you. Hi, Rodden in a Bulletin. Hi, Linda Beatty. All right. Also, I want to welcome in you at home on replay, or if you're in the live, but you just don't feel like chatting. Thank you for tuning in. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here, and you're still dedicated to finding out the truth on Nancy Guthrie. And today, I'm about to speak some common sense to clear up some of the fog. And it's real important that we really look at the baseline for this case. What do I mean by baseline? We know how kidnappers behave. We know what their motives are when they kidnap somebody for ransom. It's the money. The money is so important. So they do some things, all of them, to secure that they get that money. And number one is urgency. They have a sense of urgency. Number two, secrecy. Shh, don't tell anybody, or so-and-so ain't gonna make it. Both of those are missing. We don't have urgency and we don't have secrecy. Think about it. 4 days. It'd be more than that. It'd be 5 days, really, because you'd have all of the first with Nancy. So let us know this week. And, here's the ransom idea. Since they won't provide it for us, we're going to just speculate. That ransom note says payday, right? $4 million by the 5th. And if you can't do that, I know I'm going to be compassionate as a kidnapper. If you can't do that, don't worry. We'll make payment arrangements so that maybe you can do it by the 9th. So a little over a week. Could you pull it together then? Because then that would be the pay date. Of course, then we'd want an extra $2 million. But hey, you know, we're kind. We're caring. We have a conscience, because, you know, we don't want to rush you. What?
Oh, no.
That is not how it works. Urgency, number 1. Secrecy, number 2. They sent all these out to TMZ and all these places to make sure everybody heard that it was a ransom. But they never ever did proof of life. So let's get into this a little bit. Hi, Carlene. Hello, lovely. Majestic Lighthouse Keeper. Hello, and welcome to the channel. All right. Let's talk about priorities of a kidnapper. Let's go back to the baby duck. You got a baby duck, right? I wish I have... Okay, you were given a baby duck. This is our baby duck, right? And it's oh so frail. What's the first thing you have to do? You have to have the baby duck. So you have to acquire the baby duck. And in this case, Nancy's the baby duck that the kidnappers have acquired. So they got step 1 done. They acquisitioned their victim. Next step. What's the very next step in a kidnapping? I mean, it's just common sense that as soon as you have them, you have to be able to provide some sort of proof, not only of life, but that you're the real deal. That you are absolutely the one that has the real baby duck. And so you're going to secure that you have real proof that you're the one, and that you have proof of life, which proof of life kind of conquers both, kills two birds, one stone. I don't know why we're on birds today. Saw a lot of birds today. So if you really look at it, they got one done, but they did not secure proof of life. They did not secure that they're the ones that really have the baby duck. Jennyville, 53 months. Let's pin that. Hit that like, y'all. Aw, thank you so much, Jennyville. I appreciate you. Okay, 53 months. It's over 4 years. Over 4 years. You have been with me. I value you so very much, and thank you for being a good friend as well. So congratulations, by the way. So in the Nancy Guthrie case, what we have is we have a failure to follow the ransom guideline. So if we were to check the box, is this a ransom? No urgency. Failed box. Okay. No proof of life. Failed box. So it's not even a failed ransom. It's lacking some of these important things. Since when does a kidnapper set up a payment extension for you? A hostage situation, and they don't care. Like, it can be this week if you want to make the payment, or maybe next week, even though they don't have Nancy's medicine. They don't have her secure, obviously, because she passed away, alleging that this second letter is real. So they didn't do that. They didn't do what they needed to. They obtained the victim. They did not record proof of life. They did not prove that they're the one that had the victim. And Nancy was a high-risk kidnapping. Not because of the location, not because of who she was, not because she had a famous daughter. She's high risk because she's elderly, frail, and I'm talking not doing well health-wise. So they picked a high-risk victim that a lot of you don't want to hear what I have to say, but it's very important that I say it because of where I'm heading. And that is that, with all due respect, Nancy would be a burden to the kidnappers. Because if they don't have proof of life because she passed away, and she didn't pass away in the home, because that little pacemaker would have signaled that the heart actually stopped working right. So they may have got some spikes of adrenaline and so forth, but we never heard that the heart stopped in the house. You don't see Savannah coming out here and going, we know that my mom passed away in the house, now we just want her body. With all that being said, she could have passed away. I'm going to put my lotion on. By the way, I am self-sponsoring because I have my shop at 1111dex.com. And that way I know you're getting a very trusted product. I send out samples in a lot of the orders that you guys place as well. So this is the Jersey Girls Artisan Lotion. This happens to be peppermint lavender. And why this lotion is so good is because it's made organically with raw cow milk. And I'm going to tell you, I will never use anything else. I used this for quite a while before I began offering it in the shop. And now we have like those that are like ordering bottles at a time because they love it and they want all the different scents. And what beautiful gifts at Mother's Day to give your mother a comforting organic product that you know you can trust. In today's world filled with chemicals and your skin just absorbs everything that it touches, an organic, soothing, self-healing, beautiful lotion is something that we could all use. All right, so let's get into this. Now, the kidnapper doesn't have any urgency, but he does have a conscience. Okay, and compassion. Okay, I have fallen off the list of the kidnappers of Ransom because they're not trying to hurry to get the money. They haven't secured proof of life. They don't even have proof that they're really the person that has her. And the thing is now, you know, Savannah answered that with Annie and her brother. And she came on and she was like, we'll pay. And we need proof of life. We need to know. And that didn't happen. There wasn't. And so then, allegedly, that second note wasn't a ransom. That second note, according to Nerdy Addict, who says he has 2 confirmed sources that are saying to him, and I trust Nerdy Addict, he's saying 2 confirmed sources are saying it was an apology, compassion. So no urgency, payment plans, extend your payment. You know, we can do this next week if you feel like it, even though the victim is a high risk baby duck that you don't know if it's going to make it till the night, let alone sometime next week, just even by natural causes, let alone stressful. And so really, they didn't even take a life-saving measure with Nancy. Your goal is to make sure you get that proof of life, and until that money's in your hand, that is your meal ticket. You're going to treat it as best as you can to make sure that it lives and all this stuff, and provide it with a life-saving measures, because you're looking at the meal ticket. That baby duck is going to get you $4 million. You're going to put it on a pillow. You're going to watch the baby duck. You're going to know what you need to do about this baby duck. Okay? Because that's your payout. Without that, what do you have? Nothing. All right, so then, how do we know that they didn't take life-saving measures? Well, because he arrived with a pew-pew and left a trail of blood. Not just anybody's blood, but the victim's blood. All by the front door, where it opens like this. Why does it open like that? Because you have the big heavy door and you have the screen door. There ain't no way in hell you're going to have a good time trying to force a victim that is all she has is what she can grab. She's going to grab that door frame. That is a pinch point. Yet you have 2 open doors in the back that are propped open. Clear, go, no problem. Why take her out the front? We're going to be talking about that tomorrow because I think I've got that figured out about the blood leading out the front, but the back door is open. That's for a later show. But in the meantime, why would they wait? First of all, they'd keep her for 36 hours to 40, even longer than that. 72 hours before they make, 48 to 72 hours before they make their first we need money ransom. And then they turn around and they're all compassionate. You guys, there's 2 reasons to remove someone from the home, and only 2 reasons in this situation. 1, you want the ransom. You're going to secure proof of life. You're going to have urgency. You're like, oh my God, what do you need to live? Pills? Do you need anything? Let's go. Do you need any of these machines to keep your heart going? Let's go, little lady. Right? That's a kidnapping. Okay. Or you just want rid of the victim completely because you no longer want to be responsible for them. I guess there could be 3. We'll go to 3. So we have kidnapping for money, which obviously no urgency, compassion in the letters. No. You want rid of the person. Why do you want rid of them? Now, there's the pickle, the dill pickle. If it's not a ransom, then they want rid of Nancy. Could it be a political thing? Yes, it could be a political thing. It could be somebody that's obsessed with Savannah, somebody that just wants rid of the mother because they want to hurt Savannah. I'll give you that. It could be. Highly unlikely in really thinking about this because she was working to protect the Democrats. And the Democrats are the ones that are being accused mostly, and I'm not political, so I don't give a shit if you are right, left, all that. Don't even, because I don't like any of them, not one. They're all politicians or a dirty turd, and they're all in the same bucket of shit. Okay? That's just Mama D. But you believe how you want. All right. But if it's political, okay, that's one thing. But if it's not somebody against Savannah, wanting to hurt Savannah, it leaves that somebody was sitting there taking care of Nancy's every beck and call while the sister is over at Carson Daly's playing with their kids and having a wonderful night and having a wonderful day. And the husband's off golfing while you sit at home, not being famous, not having a 6-figure income, and you do all the beck and call while you hear the mother say, Savannah did this, and oh, I heard from Savannah, and Savannah this, and Savannah that, and Savannah, Marcia. So we really have political or somebody that hates Savannah or family at this point. I'm not sure which way to go because I can see the political side, but I could also very easily see where there could be a motive of not money. Everybody's like, smell that? That's the scent of evil. Money. Money's not evil. The love of money is evil. Okay, first of all. But really, is it more about what Savannah said? Because she's like, Annie and my brother-in-law have done everything for my mother. Everything. They have been wonderful to my mother. Were they tired of that role? Did they want their freedom? Was this more about letting go of responsibility than money? Here's what could happen then. To lead away from this this idea that she was kidnapped by someone familiar that no longer wanted the, I'm sorry, you guys, burden and responsibility of caring for an elderly, aging person, wanted their life, they would send fake ransoms to get you off the trail. Oh, look, it was a ransom. Look over there. Look over there. However, if it was political, just to get it, to get it, Savannah, to make Savannah hurt, they wouldn't mess with the ransom because they don't give a shite about money. They're there for revenge, retaliation. So therefore, no ransom. There are no men abductors that I've ever heard of in any case that has apologized for taking the victim and the victim passing away. We're so sorry. That's not something that a masculine is going to write, and we're so sorry she's gone to be with God. Was the fake ransoms actually hijacked by the actual perpetrators? Not hijacked, but written by them to simply allow an indirect way of letting the family know she's gone. We got no more responsibility. Because you can't be like, hey, I just couldn't deal with the problems anymore. We couldn't even live a life because all we were doing is taking care of her, and so we nixed her out. You can't be like that. The family is going to have you arrested. You're going to prison. So somehow you've got to let them know, well, we'll fake a ransom. We don't want to put pressure. They're already stressing. So give them 2 weeks to pay it. If they can't afford it, they can pay it later. They're not going to pay it anyway because we don't have proof of life because we nixed her out. And then we'll just send an apology saying, oh, she passed. That way everybody can go about their business and hopefully they'll just let it go. But that would also be why there's no body being produced. Because they don't want to be caught. And I kind of feel like if this was real, a real ransom, that family would have been contacted within 24 hours with proof of life, and it would have been secrecy with urgency. There would have been no payment extension, and if Nancy had passed, there would have been like a done deal, no more talk. That's how a real ransom would work. But we don't have a real ransom. We have a fake ransom. And if it was a real ransom, was it to, no, I just can't even see it being it's got to be fake. 5 days before you have to pay for the victim? Doesn't happen. Apology letter? Doesn't happen. But would you go in there yourself and kidnap your mother? No. You would hire people that are in bad stuff. And you got the secret manifester, right? That's the husband of Annie Guthrie. He's the ultimate secret manifester. That's what she says in her book. And then you have the secret mutilator over here. And he happens to know DJ Mojito. And DJ Mojito is the resident DJ for Club Congress, where Tommaso does his band shows. Not that long ago, just back in 2025, not even a year ago. So what are your thoughts? Because that's what I have today. Cheryl, everything can take a toll. Taking care of my mom for years and years can be frustrating. And I am speaking from experience. It's hard. It's a lot harder than people think. And often there is jealousy. So I'm going to explain how I personally know. My real dad and my stepmom lived down in Arkansas. At least they did till my dad passed. My sisters, my stepsisters, all live in Arkansas, very close to my mom and dad's. So out of the three sisters, one of them actually lives in Texas, so she's no help to mom and dad, except for she sends finances. She pays for everything. She pays for their bills. She pays for new refrigerators, new everything. She's got money, so she's the financial backing. And she comes home for holidays, okay? So there's one. We have two more sisters down in Arkansas. We have the baby sister. She comes home and makes a mess and interacts, but she's no financial help. But she will do backup things like run errands, go get groceries, pick up some milk, all right? But the middle sister, stepsister, Carrie, she did everything for my dad because nobody else is around to do it. No one. My sister Carrie took care of every medical appointment, every tax appointment, anything that my family needed somebody on board with. Carrie was the power of attorney. She was everything. And she was single and wanting to get married. All right? So anyway, I came home for a surprise visit, not telling anybody. I just wanted to show up and be like, hey, I'm home. I finally made it home. And it had been a couple years. Yes, I was in contact all the time on the phone, but what good am I if I live over 1,000 miles away? So I came home for a surprise visit. It ended up horrible. So when I came home, Carrie, my sister, was like, good, you can take over. You can take him to appointments. You can do all this. I'm going on vacay. All right, so she took off and went to do something fun for a change. And I was so happy to be there and take over and be like, I got this till you get back. It's the least I can do. Fine. So I take over. Well, things went awry while Carrie was gone. My dad got bit by a very poisonous spider in his groin area. He ended up in ICU. Okay? Yeah, we got him there, but it wasn't looking good. So he finally it's looking really, really bad. Like I'm on the phone to Carrie. I don't think he's gonna make it overnight. Oh my God. You know, and she's like, I can't leave. Oh my God, how can this be happening? And you had one job. And I'm like, I wasn't the spider. Okay? So finally, my dad's being released from the hospital. Me and Carrie had it out that night because real feelings came out. And she's like, you don't have the right to be mad at me that I couldn't come home. No matter how much you were panicking. You don't have that right. Because that's your dad. I'm the stepdaughter. I've been doing it. And I was like, you're so right. Oh my God. You've done it all. You've had the responsibility. And I couldn't do it. And she's like, I've been there for everything. You can't even imagine. I have no life. And I'm like, you're right. Would she have given it up and done it different? No. Carrie loved my daddy very much. She loves my stepmom very much. But don't fool yourself that responsibility is above and beyond what some people, now Carrie was willing to do it, but that responsibility is above and beyond what some people are willing to give. So it does still keep the spotlight on Annie and Tommaso because there is a motive, and that motive is natural because of their location legitimately within a few miles of their mother, and they're the ones with all the responsibility. And so it would then make sense that if that was a fake ransom to throw the spotlight away from them and over there on some random stranger that kidnapped and had this story. It sounds concocted. Sounds like, one of those things where Annie and Savannah were kidnapped by Terry, the cousin, as a joke. When they were younger, they'd call Nancy and they, say, we've been kidnapped. And I think it's stuck in someone's craw that if they wanted rid of the problem, they could misdirect everybody as it was a ransom, a kidnapping. And in the meantime, they knew they weren't going after no money. Hence, that you can pay me now or later. It really don't matter. Either the 5th or the 9th of February, you let us know. And then the apology to let them know. Oh, and by the way, she passed over. She's with God. So sorry. Drop the mic. This isn't no ransom. So it's not a ransom. So is it political? If it's political, why you got the so sorry ransom? And if the ransom is actually just by some stranger that's playing games that has nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie, why the oh I'm so sorry she's dead now letter? Why risk getting caught to apologize? No. That's a personal letter to Savannah, and Savannah believes it. And Savannah knows by something in that letter that it's personal to her, that she believes that her mother has passed away. And how do I know? Because that second interview of Savannah, well, not interview, but ransom address, where she addressed the supposed kidnappers with Annie and her brother, where she came out, we understand. We understand. But we cannot have peace or celebrate without her. Whether it is this or this or this, we want her. We'll still pay. We want her. So if it was a real ransom, they want the money. That's all they give a crap about. They would have rolled that carpet out, and there would have went Nancy right there in the desert, and they would have found, even hinted where she was somehow in the next letter. We left her by the tree in the desert, whatever, so that they could get their money. But there wasn't a follow-up. There were two. Sorry, she went off to God. And then there was the follow-up with Savannah and them. Hey, we need her body and we will pay. And that never happened because they couldn't release the body. You feel me? Aw, thank you, Linda, for liking before you came in. Hi, Emerald Jane. What do you got to say today? Said, well said, Mama D is passionate and caring enough to do this relentlessly and share it with us. The least people should do is press thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Hi, Sinad. I can't say it today. Sinead. There it is. I want to make sure I say your name right, lovely. How can anonymous emails not be found by the FBI? Day 54, still email are not found. That's if they were true. The house is the money? Could be. Could be. Good point. So I know in a lot of people's minds, they're like, well, maybe this was a robbery gone wrong. No. Her billfold's still in her purse. You guys, Savannah's like everything. All her things were there. Her purse, her blah, 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 blah. The first thing they're going to go for is things that they can get their hands on to make big cash. Cash, debit cards, credit cards. And apparently, if this was all such a neat package that they're so technically advanced that they're talking Bitcoin and they're sending emails that even the FBI can't track, I don't think it'd be a problem for them to get rid of or gain money from their debit card. Sinead is my name. It's Irish. Emerald Jane says it's pronounced Sinead. It's my name. I'm Irish. I'm Janet. Hello, lovely. Linda, and everything in the house is a lot of money. Yeah, but what are they going to take out the house? That's right. Sinead, everybody put your DNA on the like button.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Well, yes.
You guys like my buttons? It was a paid hit. Boom! You get the goat. You get the 2 goats. You get the goat. Charlene gets the goat. Because it's the only thing it could be. It's the only thing it could be. It can't be a ransom and the person was removed from their home. It's either a political hit or it's a family hit. And if it's a political hit, why are we getting I'm sorry ransom notes? It doesn't work. The only way we're going to get an I'm sorry, she's gone to God, compassion, and no urgency is if they don't really never planned on doing proof of life because it was to nix her out so that they're free of the burden. Let's not forget about apps. I don't know what you mean. April Joy, who owns house, owns TV rights. Oh, see, there could be money there. We're going to be talking tomorrow about, so you don't want to miss tomorrow because I think I got something for us to talk about. Big, like bigger than this. I needed to do this first because this is going to play a part in why there would be blood all the way down the sidewalk that's stopping at the driveway, just conveniently at the driveway, not leading out to a car, no, just stopping right there, and why there'd be blood all over that front entryway, but yet the back doors are all open. I don't think it's because they took Nancy out the front. Ooh, baby, I got so much going on here, and I think I locked into something. I really do. And it was all a tip after listening. I considered it a tip by listening to Brian Enton and Dolly Vision, both separate times. And I picked up on something, and I was like,
Yes. Give me a Y, give me an E, give me an S.
that's it. That's it. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about that. But I can't wait to share that with you. In your opinion, Linda says, I think these kids are going to want memories. I went back and got some of my parents' things. It's all I have now. Aw, hon. I love you. That is so heartfelt. Shay. Oh, I almost hiccuped. Shay says, hello, beautiful people. Hi, Mama D. I'm a bit late. You're always on divine timing. CIJI. And now we gotta wait to know. Dang it. Yes. Because it's gonna take time to develop all that. And it will just, it's better if you have time to digest this whole, it isn't a ransom letter. It never was a ransom letter. There was no urgency. You can pay me this week on the 5th, or you can pay me next week on the 9th. I have met landlords that aren't that nice, let alone kidnappers. Okay? That ain't gonna happen. No urgency. Kidnappers taking all day with a baby duck that's really, really frail. And you gotta have the baby duck at a set place at a set time. No urgency. No proof of life, and no proof they had her. Because it was never a ransom. And not a second ransom, no. A sorry, we screwed this up, oh no moment. She went to God. That is not ransomish. So ransom's off the table in my world. I'm not looking at this case as a ransom in any way. I'm looking at it as who would have the means and motive and opportunity for this crime to occur. And there was never a living sign of Nancy after she left her home. That's big. That is very big. CIJI says, I thought the ransom apology was a lie. Nobody ever does that. Ever! Right? Yeah. Okay, you guys, we're a little bit early today. We're going to jump off here if you don't have anything to say. MS Quana says Annie and Tommaso should have demanded their car back if they were cleared. Okay, let's talk about that real quick and then we'll get off here. Did Savannah ever say, ever once, have you ever heard, and I'll tell you now,
No!
my brother-in-law, Tommy, and my sister Annie didn't do this.
No.
That was never said. Never said. No. Didn't get said. Did we hear from Tommaso? We heard from Luke Daly, a thug. Yeah, he lied to us. But Luke Daly, who was raided in the dead of the night, who just knew it was about Nancy Guthrie instantly when he saw the cop cars, he gave an interview where he said, no, I had nothing to do with the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. He came out and said it. Does it hold water? Who knows? But if you are truthful and you had nothing to do with it, why wouldn't Annie and Tommaso have come out and said, we need to get on here and talk to you guys. We did not hurt our mother in any way. We do not know where our mother is. We did not kidnap her. We did not do this. We need your help.
Yes.
That would be helpful. But did that happen?
No!
That did not happen. So that's a big problem. That's a big problem for all of us. Let's talk about the 4 priorities real quick before I get off here. Let's talk about the 4 priorities of a kidnapper. Number 1, obtain the victim. Right? First you have to have the victim. Okay, they did that. Number 2, record proof of life and proof you have the victim. Didn't do that. 3, obtain the money ASAP. They took a high-risk victim and they failed miserably at the urgency. Didn't happen. You can pay me maybe like the 5th of February, $4 million. But you guys, listen, we're very nice kidnappers. And if you can't do it by then, don't worry. February 9th, 9 days after we took her, yeah, you could do it then. But then can you give us $6 million instead? And then after you've, done all those things, obtained and got the money, you're going to either release the victim or dispose of them. There's just no way. No way. Renee Marie, you get the goat. Welcome to our private eyes. I'm watching them. Thank you, lovely. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Shaz. Preach. You're about the only one who says it like it is, in my opinion. Thank you, lovely. I don't keep it. I don't, get out there and mess around. I keep it real, right? CIJI, kidnappers don't bargain like that. Correct. So, what we've got to do, because it's kind of like what I'm about to give you tomorrow is the other shoe falling, is that it was never a ransom. It was a paid hit, in my opinion. And if it's a paid hit, and we know that the perps were stalking Nancy's home, wait till you find out how that totally ties in to everything I'm going to share with you tomorrow. All right, you guys, I'm going to jump off here now. I want to thank you for all the likes and the subscription and everything that you've done to support our channel, me, our family here, our private eyes. I appreciate you. Thank you, my moderators. And here's what we're going to do. If it's not your thing, just skip this next step. And I will see you again very soon. But if you do want to know what the cards say, well, actually, Jesus, because that's where I get my answers from, because I only use Jesus to answer my cards. I do not dip into any other spirits. I don't ask angels. I ask God, Jesus, the messenger. And if he wants me to have the answer, I will. But I'm going to pull cards, and we're going to find out what the cards share. Is that ransom Was it really intended as a ransom? In other words, to take the person, to gain the money, and then hand the person over. What does God say? What do the cards say? I can't wait to find out. Now, after that live, we're going to come back for a third live where I'm going to give it over to the Private Eyes, our beautiful sponsoring members, to ask the questions. They're amazing at asking questions, far better than me. I'm great at tarot. Y'all are better at asking questions. And we'll give that to the public as well. So Private Eyes in the chat on the last video of today. But anybody that is a subscriber can join me on this next live where I will read the cards. There's going to be a few minutes in between. Don't fret. It starts at 4 o'clock. That'll give you time to get your munchies and get your snacks, well, or both, and your drink, maybe settle in and come back for the reading. All right? They need a card. Yeah. See you on the flip, Ginny. All right, my loves, with that, let me hit our closer. And for those of you who've been asking me what the name of the song is, I really don't know. I downloaded it into my music library and then I uploaded it into YouTube, and I literally have no clue the name of it, and I can't search it in my library because I don't know the name of it. I'll see you in a minute. Love you. Bye for now.
I was born to the dirt, I shall return when my eyes are closed. In the shadows, my enemy